watched Wonder Woman.
As a
On
man,
the way back, we were actually going to go meet some friends. But he says that he has to take some pictures of the lights. So
it's warfare
that's what
to
we're
stop
doing.
thinking like that. Because the devil, he knows your mind is going to control your life. So he's going to try to put pressure on you to make you think you're going to run out.
This is the
Telling
least
you not going to
needed
run out
street.
anymore, you're going to run over.
The other ones had things over the street.
I said, from this day, you shall run
And
over.
take more pictures?
One more time. From this day, you shall run over. You'll never be broke another day in your life. And when God visits you, whoever's associated with you, gonna get some of the overflow from you. Say amen. Lot got overflow from Abraham. Peter's partners got overflow from Peter.
When I used to do DirecTV, I would deal with a lot of realtors and brokers. My LinkedIn is mostly connected with real estate agents and brokers. So they can offer, when I did ADT and DirecTV, they can offer the services, just put them in the package and say, hey, we can make sure that, when you move in, you already have security and satellite service, take TV. So 2 days ago, a mortgage broker said, hey, do you do referrals? Can you, send me customers? And, what do I need to do that with you? I said I'm interested. I actually went to say no, and I prayed about it a little bit. Said I'm interested. And today he came back and said, okay, well, what do you want for that? And done some research. Because California is the only state we can really do that. I'm praying about it, figuring out what to say, and how to come back at it. I learned this year how to basically not steal, but appropriate another group's, what do you call it?
Some people may have been in jail.
Audience, like on YouTube. So, everybody knows about keywording, right? So if I'm going to do it as a simple Google ad, with keywords, I could say, home sales, mortgage, that kind of thing. But this new thing is find someone else who is really big at it and link their name in your sales ad. Actually, or you can actually use their YouTube page as the link. So everybody who clicks on their page actually sees your ad for for your product. So I know that I can, and we're already buying ad space regularly anyway in different things. For phones right now, we got a $200 ad for another little bank that through the next 10 days pays $75 for everybody who signs up and does a direct deposit. So we're and that ad is actually like $65, but it gets like 2,000 hits a day. So basically, any's too many, and the rest is great. You gotta go pee right now? Okay, we're right here by Safeway. Well, let's kind of quit here in a second. I want to talk real fast about, listening to this again day and night. It's really opening up in me that Christ was the payment, not just for, and again, I learned that the word salvation, soteria, is, it's not, has nothing to do with your soul. It's more closely economic word. So the people who he, when you receive salvation, it's about wholeness. It's actually about the Hebrew idea of owning property and got to put it in park and everything else. So he paid the price for my salvation, and that is just amazing. It's like it's sinking in what salvation is and what that price was and how it was paid. There's a strong, there's that tower. There's a strong back, not back, what is the word? There's a strong, backbone, a strong message in the background about sowing seeds, So the idea is that when Peter let Jesus use his boat to give his sermon, it was a sowing a seed, it was an offering, it was a gift, which was returned by the boat sinking net breaking load of fishes that he received back afterward by being obedient. And we're saying that it's not a payment, but it's the return, the multiplied return on all of our giving and what we do. We talked about mine in the last video with the homeless guy, and I can't tell you how many cups of coffee or chocolate or whatever we've been buying, just, and that's not bragging, because it's not about me. Well, in a way it is, because I was there. I was the homeless guy outside and didn't have anything to warn me. So when I see that, whether they ask or not, I tend to ask them. Okay, pick up your car. So that's there, and it's growing in me, like what we have, Okay, get in the car. Just get in the car. Yeah, I know, you're stuck around the pee. Get in the car. Put on your seatbelt. So, as we're doing this, the whole, recognizing that I've been sowing seed my whole life. I had a few people who I knew, who actually know me, really go into, hey, you're a good guy, because I haven't thought of myself that way for a very long time. Okay, put on your seatbelt. We had that kind of discussion today, and they were like, yeah, and I was like, okay, and I'm realizing that, there actually all the bad guys win, and I decided to act that way for a while, or associate, and that's over, and I'm not acting or pretending or any of that stuff anymore in my life. It costs way too much. And knowing this, hey, this is my video, I'm talking. So, as that's not going on, as I'm repairing from that, real, actual good is coming. The parasitic garbage, which I thought I wanted, which is what I was, sowing seed for, is coming off. It's being removed. People, places, things, whatever. And I'm growing in excitement about that. There's a joy, a peace, and an excitement now in my life each day. It's weird, because I'm starting to get checks from different places, and different things that before couldn't or wouldn't bear fruit are starting to produce. And it's my life is being restored. There's a time in my life when again, I could think, hey, I want a soda or something like that, or man, I would think about the taste of a Coke, and somebody would walk up and say, hey, I got this extra Coke and it's really cold. Here, why don't you take it? And it manifested. I was blessed like that, and that's returning. Where now, as I'm, imagining or visualizing the thing, it's coming, it's happening, and it's not because I'm trying to make it happen or I'm arguing or anything else. It's that the inside myself is being ordered and put right where he's fulfilling my desires, and it's and just this the sermon that's going on in the background right here. I'm removing. I'm not speaking things I don't want to, shouldn't be speaking or don't want to say. I'm not no longer what is it? There's a word for it, but it's giving space or playing the tapes or allowing bad thoughts to go around in my mind. I'm bringing them under control, under captivity, and saying, no, you're done, no more. There's no space for you here. And as I'm doing that, it's just so much more. It's becoming so great. I can see good, and I can speak good, and I'm living good. I'm excited about my life. I'm excited about life and our life, what we're doing, how we're living. There are some things that are, they don't have we don't have an answer. We don't have the whatever to make sure that it's okay. But I kind of look at it and go, okay, well, that's where we are right now. You know what I mean? We're getting through that too, I guess part of it is that I was kind of fearless as a child. And some people really worked really hard for a long time to ram fear into me, to try to control me and bring me down a few notches. And I'm giving it back. It's coming out. Didn't need their fear. At the times when I had the most faith because of who I was attached to, whether I acknowledged it or not, they were teaching the ministry of fear to help me. And I'm good. But no more. No more. Speaking of which, we wanted a dog for a while. I saw I guess I'm saying this because I'm pretty sure this is coming to fruit. Like the next day on Facebook, somebody was offering to give one away for free. It turned out to be kind of a scam, but I know that better is happening right now. It's happening straight. So they're what is it? It's a bulldog, like the English bulldog.
Like the English bulldog you're watching on your tablet.
Yeah, so we've been watching some of the videos and thinking about them and finding out about them. I don't like their breathing stuff and throat stuff, but I think it's nice. They're pretty cool. So we were at the pet store dealing with the fish stuff, and if you watch our videos, you'll see that in one of the videos. And a girl walked in with one of them, and he was just so friendly and so cool. He had a really good air about him. I was like, wow. And then I found out it's very common in the breed. I'm thinking, and they last between 9 and 10 years. And so I've looked at some, shelters and other things, but I see a good one coming to us. They're supposed to be put on a diet. They're kind of small, but they tend to like to gain weight. So, we can afford to feed it. There's a lot of just real good in that. I see in getting one. It makes a little friend that's about his size, who is not really aggressive or scary looking, but still willing to get into it and has, he's a bulldog. They have that tenacity. They have that willingness to stay in the fight and hold on no matter what. It just hit me. What was it? This is kind of funny. Today, that, what was it? Johnny, whatever, the show I used to watch when I was a kid. They were all over the world doing stuff. Bandit was a bulldog. So, yeah. It's good stuff, good thoughts, good things. Got into some breeders' pages, some other stuff, and seeing some really beautiful ones. There's a dog called the French Bulldog, which I thought was French, and they're not. They're actually they were a smaller size English Bulldog, and during some war or something, a lot of English people went to France or something like that, and they bred them there, and then they became very common. And then they became the French Bulldog. That's not the original. Right. Hopefully I talked enough. I hope if you're watching this, you know that you're blessed and that you're getting in the Word and that it's filling you. I got to think the other day about, where he says, be ye. Whenever in the New Testament, usually when it says, be ye this, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, or be ye this, be ye that. Usually it's, the Greek, it has the aorist tense, and it wasn't really written well in English. It's be being. And we are continually being changed. And we hope that you are too. We hope that you are growing and succeeding and just receiving and successful. That you know the Christ, the sacrifice that was made for your life. A couple of verses again come to mind about us being seated with him in heavenly places. Well, the heavenly has the control of the earth. Again, we have the principalities, powers, the heavenly, sources here. Well, that's the heavens, and it's here. It's not off in some other place. The other thing that's really come to mind, one of the other things, I'm going to segue in a different direction. One of the other things that's really come to mind this week is I was talking to somebody about going to heaven. And everybody has this concept of going to heaven. Most people have the demonic concept of getting wings and becoming an angel, which is garbage. But most people are like, oh yeah, well, they're going to heaven. Eventually I'm going to heaven. And they don't know the rest of it, that then the heaven and the earth are rolled up like a scroll and thrown away. And then there's a new heaven and a new earth. And we return to earth. So there's that restoration of all things. Everything is made new, made better. And we're already in that stage. You can see it. So many things. Things are being restored to their original order, to the rightness. And I see that happening in my life. There's another verse that I was supposed to say, and I got to get back there. I got to talk about, share that. I wrote a poem today. I used to be a really good writer. My teachers and everybody who knew me used to love the things that I wrote. I've had that kind of like block thing for over 20 years. It seems to me that, I guess my guilt, I can't do that while I'm driving. I have put mental blocks in myself for things that I know and I'm able to do because of guilt and things that I have done or done wrong in my life. And those are coming out. It's being removed. There's no blockage to the flow of good and of writing and of just the other good things. It's no muss. What else, Mike? I guess I'm going to have to let the verse go this time. There's so much good. The first one was being seated with him in heavenly places. The other is joint heirs. One of the others is joint heirs with Christ. It says that we're joint heirs with Christ. Here's one, is that he says that we are heirs. We are descendants, sons of believing Abraham. It says Abraham was rich in everything. He had that actual wealth. It says he was rich in in cattle and horses and what was it? And sheep and gold. Silver, gold, and cattle. It says that we receive the inheritance, the same things as believing. There's so many levels here, layers here. It's like, wow, I didn't know it, and it's been stolen from me, or I've been giving it away because of lack of knowledge. Joe's post. I could go on for a long time, and it's time to cut it short. Thanks for listening to Remain Apart. again, get in that word. This is Dr. Bill Winston. He's got a playlist on his on YouTube. Down at the bottom, there's 226 sermons. But there's all kinds of other playlists that are 3 and 15 and 17. You know, different things about faith, about healing, about other stuff. This one's about their church actually has a business school, and they have schools or campuses in every continent. I think it's like Antarctica, in very many nations, and they're growing and changing who we are. There's this thing that Islam's followers believe that that their God gave them blesses them with wealth and gave them the right, the ability to have wealth and land. Again, if you look at from the Old Testament all the way up to the movie 3,300, whatever, where Xerxes is, where he says, okay, you know what? We don't have to fight. All you have to do is give me a wagon full of dirt. And the deal is that because Satan, their God, believes that when you give dirt from a country or from a land, then you're dedicating that land to that God. So that's what he asked for. And ours, in some ways, did the same thing. It says every place that we put our feet belongs to us. And there's a whole thing about the land being blessed because of our presence or because we serve him in the land. So because of Catholicism and all the other garbage, you have the mainstream preachers, Baptists and Catholics, who teach poverty. And their thing is they're saying that God doesn't want you to have land. But usually they all have land and stuff, wealth. But they teach that it's not the blessing of God. It's not what he intended for us to do while having it themselves. Anyway, I don't want to get into them or whip on them too much. The part here is that it is part of our belief system. It's a core part. When you look at the whole thing, not the parts that people want to interpret for you or turn into something, this is about wealth. This is about having the ability to provide for and meet the needs of other people. I had some good friends who did a missionary trip in India and Africa. And they came back and they said, if you can't give them anything, if you can't help them, they don't want to hear you. What they're looking for is to have the needs met. And if your God can't do that, what good is your God? And if you look in the Old Testament, that was the point. That's what he did. If you look at the New Testament, that's what he did. He provided. He met the needs. Okay, gotta go. Reaching my destination. Bye.